Welcome to our Kriya Yogi Spiritual Gita. This Monday evening, we were struggling with a little bit with shlok number 17 the other day, Saturday. I don't know if I have, my mind will work today or not. I hope it will. I pray to the Lord to make it work. Just a little bit of the background of what we were doing on Saturday. We were talking about Him, the Formless One, the Creator, Preserver, and the Destroyer of the world, and yet the Formless One. He's present everywhere, and yet you can't see Him anywhere. So these are lots and lots and lots of descriptions that you can give for Him. All of them would be right, and yet none of them would be complete. And that's how strange and mysterious and unknowable He is. Here we are talking about Him in the shape of a light. The shlok number 17, the verse number 17, chapter 3. Why chapter 3? Chapter 13. Chapter 13 describes Him separately and His power separately. He is supposed to be the gentleman and His power is supposed to be the lady. For some strange reason, I do not know what, all the power has been given to all the ladies of the world, all the Devis. The purse is being controlled by Lakshmi. The power is controlled by Parvati. The fine arts, speaking, talking, learning is controlled by Saraswati, and so on. And this gentleman, Shivji, has not even been given enough clothes. This is something that our friend Surendra Sharma, the funny poet, Kavi, has been saying. Many times I have had occasion to listen to him. And he means it as a joke. But come to think of it, the joke is based on the reality. Why is it so? In fact, there is a special place where they exist. There is a plane of existence. There are 7. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, and Satyam. So we are in Bhulok. Our dearly departed people are in the Bhuvarlok, Pitrilok. Then there is Swarglok, where the inner reigns. Then there is Mahalok. Then there is Tapalok. Mahalok is where all the divine, powerful ladies live. Durga Ji, Saraswati, Parvati, Kali, and so on and so forth. Tapahalok is the Kutastha. And Satyam Lok is where the Formless One lives. That's the truth. See, it's so funny. He's the truth. We can't see Him. And what we see in this world is not the truth. It's an illusion. Topsy-turvy world? I don't know. You decide. So what is shlok number 17 telling us? Okay. The shlok goes, Jyotisham api tad jyotis tamasa paramuchyate jnanam gyeyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya tishtitam vishtitam. He is the one who provides the light to the light emitting objects of the world. The sun, the moon, the fire. Is far, far superior to the darkness of foolishness, which we are if we don't know Him. And He is knowable, or you are able to know Him by this process of Kriya Yoga, Swadhyay, stillness, items like that, which we are very well aware. So here we were talking about, in this chapter we were talking about पुरुष के समान जिसकी आकृति अर्थात कुटस्थ मंडल के भीतर पुरुषोत्तम नर नारायण शरीर सोहम अस्मि में उसका स्वरूप अर्थात में we discussed the kutastha akshar brahma, the third eye. When you close your usual eyes given to you with your body, you close them and open this with the help of the Guru, with his kripa, and then you can enter a world which is unknown to you. Surdas ji, the great saint, said as much. सूरदास ने आंखें बंद करी तो सूरदास ने दर्श किए. Now Surdas was blind right from the birth. So which eyes is he talking about? He's talking about the other senses: ears, nose, taste, touch, etc. He says, if I withdrew from all of these senses, or I locked those senses out, and then I saw the Lord. That is one of the methods. Now he's talking about this light which is like gold. Swarn ke saman ek jyoti. Swarn is gold. I was not going to Birla Mandir in Baliganj. Why? Because I had an aversion. Birla ji has done it for God. Has he done it for himself? Self tom-tomming, how great I am. This mandir is mine. These are the kind of thoughts that I was having. And I have told you, I reluctantly was crossing there on foot. So I decided to go. My curiosity probably overtook my abhorrence. As I was climbing up, my mind was debating, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? Ultimately, I left it to Guru Maharaj. If he wants me to go, I'll go. So I went. And it's a huge staircase to climb up. As you go up, first thing that you see is Radha Krishna or Vishnu and Rukmani. It's up to you to decide what group you want to see them. They are the same. And it was so beautiful. I knelt down and I touched my forehead to the ground and I did my pranam. As I closed my eyes and touched my forehead to the ground, it was filled with a golden light. This is what he's saying here. There is a golden light. Kabir, in one of his songs, sings that. Arhele mari कंचन धाप जहाँ नीप जरहेली वामारा साहेब जी की सेज है. The place from where the golden glow emanates is where my Lord and Master resides or rules the world from. Beyond this light, once you have crossed and entered that light, that is this Param Purush. All around you there is a light, golden glow, and this Purush is there. Only those who are able to do intensive and extensive Kriya will get to see him. I am not saying this. This is what has been written by Sanil Maharshi. He is also called the Adi Daivat Purush. Adi means mind. वह पुरुष ही सर्वव्यापक ब्रह्म हो जाता है. He becomes the formless one. Nishkal is the state that you reach because the outside air stays outside, the inside air stays inside, and your normal eyes are now looking into this eye which is looking inside. प्राण और अपान को समन्वय में अर्थात नाभि देश में स्थिर रखना पड़ता है. प्राण एंड अपान, the up and down breathing stops in the Manipur chakra, in the navel, and stays still there. Your entire external apparatus, the eyes, ears, nose, sensory organs, work organs, including even your body, becomes still. And it is as if you have locked it somewhere else. You don't wish to talk. इसी अवस्था को निष्कल कहते हैं. This is called निष्कल अवस्था, where all activities of mind, heart and body stop. Anybody who can achieve this state of being is called a Mokshaparayana Muni, a Muni who is already has received salvation. तब मूलाधार से ब्रह्मरंध्र पर्यंत सुषुम्ना एक प्रकार का आश्रम विष्णु दैवती अद्वितीय मात्र. Then there is a strange kind of pull between the Mooladhara and the Brahmarandra. When you are in this stage, if you do YM, a particular kriya which I don't know who knows, who doesn't know, so I will refrain from describing it. Because only thing I can say is YM is the one that enables you to go inside. So when you are in YM, you are doing that YM and you are stabilized, at that point you will see all the divine beings in that cave. You will see this Purushottam also. All your internal air, Vayu, is absolutely still at that point of time. When you know all this with the higher Kriya, which is called the Brahma Kriya, then you can perceive Him in all the beings. Then you get the stage where you say, मैं कुछ नहीं, मेरा कुछ नहीं, सब तुम हो, सब तुम्हारा है. I am nothing, I have nothing, you are everything, everything that exists is yours. When you feel a grey atmosphere inside your eyes, from the golden now you come to the grey, black, white, all those colors go through, you come to a grey color. This is the Samshan Bhashma. You are close to Shivji. उसी का नित्य ध्यान करते करते नाभि से मस्तक पर्यंत वायु का आकर्षण होता है. Then your Rudra, this is the Rudra Kshetra, this is the Agni place. Then Agni burns up everything, all forms, everything it burns up. कुटस्थ के भीतर जो बिंदु अथवा बाह्य बिंदु जो चक्षुष सामने पड़ता है वो अनिच्छा की इच्छा वो बोध करती है. You can see this little spot, tiny spot, बिंदु. उस समय हृदय में ब्रह्म की स्थिति अनुभूत होती है. You can feel him in your heart. वहाँ समस्त देवताओं का तेजोमय रूप देखा जाता है. I just told you, you can see all the very well lighted divine beings. आकाश में शुद्ध स्फटिक के समान वर्ण दिखता है. A huge crystal. That's what the sky looks like. उसी का ध्यान करना पड़ता है. You concentrate or meditate on him. गगन मंडल में वही ध्यान नित्य करते करते सहस्त्र दल पद्म नामक निधि प्राप्त होती है. सहस्त्र दल पद्म, सहस्रा. उसके द्वारा सर्वव्यापी आत्मा के स्वरूप का बोध होता है. And then you know your own soul. There is nothing beyond that. इस श्लोक में ब्रह्म ज्ञान के बाद की अवस्थाओं का क्रमशः वर्णन हुआ है. This shlok describes, which is why it was so tough to translate. This shlok describes the stage after Brahma Gyan, which means this stage will come only after you have known Brahma, the formless one. So you can imagine how intense this shlok is. Number 18. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam gyeyas samasata madbhakta etadvigyaya madbhava yopapadyate. Having completed the body and its two divisions, Purush and Prakriti, he is saying here now, this is thus, having explained to you your body, Kshetra, and Gyan and Gyeya. Gyeya is him, the formless one, and Gyan is the process of knowing him. In brief, मेरा भजन करने वाला, he who sings pines to me, इसको जानकर मेरे भाव प्राप्ति की योग्य होता है. He becomes capable of merging with me. This is number 18. These are very deep subjects. You know why? Because they lay the foundation for your inner journey. At the moment, your inner journey is a movement in the unknown, unwanted, dark and scary places. Where am I going? Who am I going to meet? What is the danger there? When am I going to fall down? All sorts of thoughts will run into your mind. He says, no. You do this and you will come to me. This forms the foundation for your salvation. And it's only by the kripa of first Lord Shri Krishna, then Lahiri Maharaj, then Sanyal Maharaj, then your Gurudev, that you are able to even conceive of this, even think about it, even if you're not completely comprehended the entire thing, this is like magic. Nobody has the wherewithal to even, think about it without having been told in the Gita. And then while you are thinking in the Gita, you feel, oh my God, I don't know where am I going. He's talking on and on and on. You feel lost. This is very powerful stuff. Lahiri Maharaj says in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, unusual. I have told you about your body and all that is worth knowing within your body. Lahiri Maharaj is translating for Lord Krishna. मेरा जो भक्त है अर्थात जिसको गुरुवाक्य में विश्वास है, he who believes in the explanations given by the Guru, इसको जानकर क्रिया के परावस्था में रहकर अटका रहता है. He can reach परावस्था, be one with the Lord and stay there. परब्रह्म विज्ञात वस्तु है, विगत हो गया जहां ज्ञात. That means unknowable. You can't know him. वह ज्ञानेंद्रियों का विषय नहीं तो होते हुए भी ज्ञातव्य है. None of your organs, 5 sensory organs, 5 work organs can tell you what he is. And yet, he will appear to you in your buddhi. Please remember that shlok that we sing sometimes. Brahmanandam paramasukadam kevalam jnana murtim. His jnana is shaped in the shape of jnana. Is that, does jnana have a shape? That's how you get to know him. Okay, now please follow this a little carefully. These are very serious thoughts still going on. He is explaining what he has just told us earlier in 15, 16, 14, etc. He is saying here, when you have faith in your Guru and his teachings, then you understand the Prakriti or nature, which is Triguna Roop, Trigunatmika, which is consisting of three guns, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. And it is the creator of this world, this false illusion called the world. And you also understand about, excuse me, your own body. Kshetragya Rupa Para Prakriti. Para Prakriti is Akshar Brahm, Para Prakriti is Sushumna, Para Prakriti is the other part, divine part of the Lord's, not divine part, both of them are divine, the one that creates divine objects. It creates Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. So it's called Para Prakriti. Para means extra special and Apara means not so special. You can understand Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti and its functioning is what he's saying. And you can understand what a Jeev is, a being. Being means what? Bhava. Sukhi Bhava. Vidyavan Bhava. We say Bhava means to be. So being is he who is. Try to understand. This is the reason why you first need to understand the body and the power that controls this body called Kshetragya or Akshar Purush or Parashakti. ये शरीर तथा शरीर नाड़ियां, नाड़ियों के भीतर प्राण का प्रवाह जिसके द्वारा बाहरी वस्तु इंद्रियों के ज्ञान का विषय बनती है, क्षेत्र कहलाता है. This body is called the Kshetra. Kshetra is field. What does it contain? It contains many flow channels called nerves. And within these flow channels or nadi or nerves flows the life breath called pran. And because of this flow, you are able to understand the outside, the world that's outside you. This Kshetra or the body is what you need to know now. सूर्य की किरणें आगे जैसे जगदादि वस्तुओं को प्रकाशित कर रहे हैं, उस प्रकार शरीर के भीतर रहने वाले कुटस्थ की ज्योति के द्वारा ये सारी वस्तुएं अस्तित्व जान पड़ती. When the sun rises, then you can very clearly see the within your visible range, whatever is there, you can easily conceive, perceive, understand. You can understand this is a tree, this is a bird sleeping on one of the branches, this is that, etc. Similarly, the enervating power of the internal sun, the kutas, makes you aware of your own body and all that is inside it. Without sadhan, there is no way in which you can understand Parashakti and Aparashakti. सारे कुटस्थ के भीतर रहने उत्तम पुरुष को अनुभव कर सकते, वही मेरा मैं है या मेरा यथार्थ स्वरूप, इसका ज्ञान प्राप्त. With the help of sadhan and constant practice, persistent practice, you can even see the final shape of Paramatma. After that, he becomes formless. This is the final form, I should say, not shape. He is me. You can understand this. Right now you can't, because you don't even know him. He is Purush, he is Brahma, and he pervades the entire world. Once you know that he is me, then you have a feeling that I pervade the entire world, because I am him now. I always was, only I was not aware of this. But without Kriya, without your practice, you can't know anything. The basis for doing Kriya is this body. You need this body to do Kriya. You need the breathing, you need the various postures, you need the spine, you need the nerves, you need the man, you need this place where the soul resides, you need all of these. So without the body you can't do Kriya. There are 72,000 flow channels called nerves. In all of them, Pran flows in the shape of Vayu. That Vayu has got Brahma flowing with it, which is why it is energizing, enlivening. He is the one who creates the outside world, and he allows you to understand the outside world and enjoy it. This is called his Ghor Roop, frightening Roop. Ghor is, fearsome Roop. That is the sansar. Why? Because you see people getting, killed, suffering, sickness, paucity. Somebody doesn't have a hand or a leg. Paucity, bodily paucity. Doesn't have money in his purse. Monetary paucity. Somebody is, dyslexic. Is, not all right in the brain. That's paucity. All this you see and you wish, God, please protect me. Why? Because that you don't want anybody that you know of to have that kind of a deformity, if I may call it. To reverse his frightening self into his welfare providing self or good self or a ghor, not frightening, you need to stop your breathing. Please remember what my Gurudev used to say. To know God, you have to enter your mother's womb, where the external breathing is stopped. This can only be done with pranayam and yog sadhan. When you are skillfully navigating your various chakras, a time will come when you shall, conquer all of them. चक्रव्यूह वेद होने पर पुरुषोत्तम का दर्शन प्राप्त कर साधक की अज्ञानमयी स्थिति में रजनी का अवसान हो जाता है. Once you have conquered all these chakra views formation, you have 5 in a line, the 6th one here, and the 7th, 8th, and the Sahasra. Too many. Then the darkness of wrong knowledge about the outside world will vanish, and you will be bathed in a soothing, wonderful light of knowledge. He will all the time hear some beautiful anahat sound. Anahat, hat means strike. Anahat means no strike, and yet there is sound. पश्चात क्रिया की परावस्था या ब्रह्म स्थिति होती है. Then you enter the state of samadhi or paravastha. Such a person, once he has reached this, only he gets amrit pad, which means immortality. तब हृदय में जो 100 नाड़ियां, there are 100 nerves or flow channels in the heart, उनके ऊपर रहने वाली एक नाड़ी में प्राण प्रवेश करता है, the one सुषुम्ना. The प्राण will enter that सुषुम्ना. उसमें प्राण के प्रवेश होते ही सारा संसार ब्रह्म में अनुभूत होने लगता है. Once the प्राण enters that सुषुम्ना above the heart, then everything becomes Brahma. तब मन में कोई संकल्प नहीं होता. You have no desire, resolution, lust, want, nothing. Whatever this happens only due to his kripa. Anichcha ki ichcha it is called. But he has no desire, and yet there is inherent desire for your welfare. इच्छापूर्वक कुछ नहीं करता है. He doesn't do anything deliberately. सरदार चंद्र सूर्य को भीतर देख पाते. You can see the moon and the sun inside you, and you are always in a blissful state of being. You have, vision like the Hubble telescope. You can see anything, anywhere in the entire creation. If somebody harms you or tries to harm you, the Lord Almighty punishes such a person. The body is absolutely very perky, healthy, frisky. आत्मा में भक्ति होने से केश और लोम खड़े हो जाते हैं. You have this, what do you call it? Goosebumps. So when you feel His presence or you are with Him, you are very happy, you are very blissful. Then you get these goosebumps and your hair also stands. You are always in some sort of an intoxication. No attraction to the world. Such a yogi is all the time satisfied with where he is. His eyesight is firmly placed in Shunya, where the Almighty Lord lives. Shunya is nothing. This is called Unmani Bhav. Many times Unmani Bhav has been discussed, including one by Kabir, where he has said, "Man laga unmani su kahan pahuncho jaye, chand bina chandni jahan tahan alakh niranjan rai." We discussed this when we started shlok number 15. Man laga unmani su. Unmani is the shunya, zero, nothing. When the man goes there and gets stuck in the soul, that is unmani. Man laga unmani su, it reaches there. Taha pahuncho jaye, you can reach there. Chand bina chandni jahan, there is a huge amount of fresh, clean, invigorating light, as if a moonlight. But it's not a moonlight, because there is no light, light emitting object there, no moon, no sun, no fire, nothing. And yet the light is there. मन लगा उन्मनी सु वहां पहुंचो जाए, चांद बिना चांदनी जहां तहां अलख निरंजन राय. Alakh. This morning I was watching a video of Prahlad ji and this lady called Shabnam Virmani and some Pakistani qawwals who are famous for singing Kabir. And they say, why does he say Alakh Niranjan? That's a beautiful thing. I never thought of it. I've always used the word Alakh Niranjan without really understanding it. Alakh. The ancient language of Malwa and some of these, our ancient Hindi also, says Alakh means that who is not perceivable. For example, Kabir Das ji says, Guru ki bani atpati. The Guru ki bani, when you hear the Guru speaking, it would seem absurd to you. It's not logical from the angle of the world. Guru ki bani atpati. Jhatpat lakhi na jaye. Cannot understand. Lakhi means to understand. So, alakh, not understandable, not perceivable, not conceivable. You can't understand him. Who is that? The Lord. Niranjan, there is no spot. This formless one. You can't see him, you can't hear him, you can't do anything. Therefore, you can't understand him. Alakh Niranjan. Beautiful, no? Okay. Where were we? Unmani bhava. इच्छा बिना भी दूर की वस्तु की उनकी दृष्टि सामने भासमान होती है. Without even thinking about it, you will be able to see things that are of any consequence. Like maybe Mr. Trump conferring with Mr. Putin, and he will know exactly what he is doing, what he is talking, what does he mean. Bodily you will see him. जो बात मुंह से कहते हैं वो सिद्ध हो जाती है. There is a shlok for this. It is called Tasya Sankalpa Matrena Srishti Bhavit. So if he just resolves okay, let there be light. So in the middle of the desert, it's total dark, there will be light. So he says, whatever he utters from his mouth happens. पृथ्वी के सारे द्रव्यों के गुणों को भी समझ पाते हैं. He can understand what is there in this paper. How much pulp, what that pulp came from. Did it come from straw or other waste paper or newspaper? Everything. He knows everything about the ingredients of all objects. Without Kriya, however, you will not understand either the body or the Parashakti which guides your body, which operates your body. Let me remind you of that little song that Prahlad ji used to sing. He still sings that. Jara dheere dheere haaki gaadi haako mere Ram gaadi wale. What does he say? Paiyo hai lal gulal. This kutas is the wheel on which your body runs. It's a single unicycle type. Only one kutas. Paiyo hai lal gulal. Haakana wali chhel chabili. Maya. Maya is a part of Aparashakti. That guides you. Because you have to live in the world. Baithan walo Ram. Ram is sitting there in the shape of Uttam Purush, Akshar Purush and Chhat Purush. These are very, very beautiful passages. We have to connect the dots, cross the T's. So I said, none of this will be known to you unless you do Kriya. You have to have deep, abiding faith in the word of the Guru, and you must have complete belief. यदि कहो कि साधना के द्वारा जब यही वस्तु समझ में आ जाती है, फिर भक्ति की कहाँ आवश्यकता है? If you can understand everything just by doing sadhana, then where is the devotion required? What is the devotion required for? Devotion is required because you need to have devotion to your Guru, his words, and that will help you have devotion to the Lord himself. सारी साधना एक प्रवर्तक के लिए नीरस लगती है. Initially, all this will become very, very boring. You will feel very tedious. We are talking and that also is tedious. But it is so beautiful. On Saturday night, after I had read and was not able to complete shlok number 17, I was thinking all night. It just was going on inside my mind. मन में शीघ्र ही एक नशा होता है. You get intoxicated with this. उस नशे से ही क्रिया की परावस्था का उदय होता है. That causes you to reach the state of samadhi or परावस्था. इस भाव से समस्त वस्तुओं के प्रति वैराग्य होता है. All the worldly objects now do not attract you. जनयत्याशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानंच यद हेतुकम. Janayatyasu vairagyam. All the people, all their objects of desire become of no use to you because of your jnana now. What is this jnana? You are knowing him. Only he is knowable. He is the one that you must know. ज्ञान वैराग्य और भक्ति लाके जो क्रिया साधक को कृतार्थ करती है, उस पर विचार करके देखने पर हृदयंगम हो जाता है कि क्रिया कितना आवश्यक है. Then you can understand why the practice of Kriya is so important. We'll stop here now. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Ram Narayana Vasudeva Shri Guru Chaitanya He Atmadeva He Mat Durge Har Vishwanath सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय आविराविमहि। बोलिए प्रेम से गुरु महाराज की जय, परम गुरुदेव की जय, परात्पर गुरुदेव की जय, परमेष्टि गुरुदेव की जय, आदि गुरुदेव की जय, गुरु माता की जय। हर हर Mahadev. I just wanted to add a word. This Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, we sing this, we say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, let everybody will be happy. I think I have said this earlier also. What is Sukh? How do you define Sukh? Happiness. Su means to be close. Sunnikat, when you are close. To Khang. Khang is Akash. Akash is God. So the only Sukh or happiness will be when you are near Him.
1 week.
Yeah, that's number one. Number two, Sarve Bhavantu Niramaya. That means free of disease. That free of disease, the only disease that you should be free of is Bhava Rog, the disease of the world. You know, wanting it, craving it, striving for it. You should forget it. Sarve Pashyantu Bhadrani. Bhadrani is only thing Bhadra is God. So you should always see God. That is one angle. The other angle that I wanted to add to this is, there is a famous song which was originally sung by Narsingh Mehta. He was, sometime in the Mughal period, he was in Gujarat. Narsingh Mehta was a very famous saint. He says, Vaishnav jana to tene kahiye je पीड़ पराई जाने रे. Okay. Vaishnava jana to tene kahiye. God people, the people who know, are adherents of the Lord. Vaishnava jana to tene kahiye. Only they can be called Vaishnava, who know the peed parai. Peed is pain of the others. That is the common meaning, right? This is the way in which this Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi used to sing. Peed parai is what Sanyal Mahasaya defined. Porer songe na thakiya nijer songe thakun. So unless you know the pain that will emanate and, capture you if you are all the time in the world. That is what he is talking about. But we always, understand it in a way which is suitable to us. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. See you on tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, day after and the day after that. I'm in Delhi for something in the Supreme Court. I hope to be back on Thursday evening. And Friday, of course, will be the live program. So we should, in English at least, we should meet on Saturday. But anybody who wishes to join us on the live program on Friday, most welcome. Runadi, that is for you as well, for the others also. Up to you. All right, good night.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.